Aloha! My name is Stacey Johnson and welcome back to my channel where we keep it real about what it's truly like to live and invest in paradise. On today's video, I'm going to take you through an exciting ride of my adventure through Victoria, Canada. And the purpose of this video is to show you how real estate investing has given me the opportunity to work and travel whenever I want. This video is just for fun. We went to Victoria, Canada for 8 hours while we were on an Alaska cruise. This was the last day of that cruise. I'm going to take you on an adventure to see what we did in Canada and what spots you should check out if you have a limited time available in Victoria, Canada. Let's get right into it. We enter the boat in the port of Victoria, Canada. On this specific day, we didn't really have anything planned, so we went straight to town to see what kind of activities that we could plan. First, we decided that we wanted to go to two places. First being the Butchart Gardens. Just to give you some context, we went on a 7-day Alaska cruise and stopped in 2 different cities in Alaska. This was the last day before heading back to Seattle, and we got to stop in Victoria. We were stuck at sea for 2 consecutive days, and my brain was going crazy. So if you guys don't want to be stuck on a boat for more than a day, I definitely don't recommend a cruise. But if you're totally cool with that, you just want to go to the pool or hang out and be totally disconnected, it might be for you. One thing I did not like about this cruise was that when we went to these ports, we were only there for a limited amount of time. We didn't have the opportunity to really explore the places that we went to. So this is just a snippet of if you had 8 hours in Victoria, Canada, here's what I would do. First stop is the Butchart Gardens. This garden is made up of 5 different gardens. You have the sunken garden. It's a garden that literally you walk into a sunken ground inside the park. You walk down these stairs and you end up in a garden that's like below the surface. The second thing is the rose garden, one of my personal favorites because I love roses. These roses, you see them and they could be like massive, which was really cool. So many different colors. If you love to see many different colors, that's the place for you. And then my second favorite, number 3, the Japanese garden. As soon as you walk in, it feels extremely zen. You can feel the calming energy. We spent a good amount of time in here because we took the first bus to get to the Butchart Gardens. Butchart Gardens is 45 minutes away from the city, so make sure that if you are going to go there, you spend some allotted time. We made the mistake in catching a bus there and then having to wait 3 hours to catch the next bus, and which was really messed up because the bus ended up breaking down and we had to add an additional hour onto our trip. And remember, we only had 8 hours because we were on a cruise and we had to head back to our cruise ship before the cruise left the port, or else we'd be stuck there in Canada. So if I could do this differently, I would definitely just catch a taxi to the Butchart Gardens and then catch a taxi back instead of trying to do the whole bus thing. Anytime you're on a cruise, don't do the whole bus thing. It's not worth it. I'd rather just pay a taxi for the convenience and to be able to pick things on our timing. Anyway, back to the gardens. After the Japanese garden, we spent a couple hours in there. It's really cool. You got to walk on rocks and just really sit in there and enjoy the people watching. Love watching the people and enjoy the sights to see. On top of that, to finish out, there's the Mediterranean garden and the Italian garden. These ones are whatever's. Really, the main 3 that were the most interesting to look at were the Japanese garden, the sunken garden, and the rose garden. So like I said, we were a little bit delayed, but thankfully on the way back, we did get to catch a bus around the city. But in order to get there, we had to walk to Chinatown because again, the buses come on their own schedule. Sometimes they take a little bit of time. And because when we got back from the Rose Garden, the bus had already passed, it was gonna be another hour for the next bus to come. So we just decided to walk to the 4th bus station and just enjoy walking around the city. From right inside the town, we ended up walking all the way through some shops, through this street to go to the Chinatown. And we got to walk through this really cool alley called Fantan Alley. This is a famous alley in Chinatown in Victoria. History shows that it was actually a place for gambling, which as you walk through there, you can feel that vibe. But when we went there, We actually got to see a bunch of little shops and just really just explore the city. We wanted to get some boba, so we went to go get some boba before waiting for the next bus to come and show us around the rest of the city. We were able to hang out, and then eventually the bus came, and as we got on the bus, we got to learn all about Victoria and get to see all of the different sites. Now, the next stop that we go on was this crazy castle. I don't know how to say it. I know I said it wrong because when I called the taxi to come pick us up, he laughed at me. But I think it's called Craig Derrick Castle. Let me know in the comments below what the actual phonics of it is, because clearly I have no idea and I'm totally butchering it. But the crazy thing about this castle, it was actually built by an industrialist named Robert Dunsmuir. He was somebody that made a fortune from the Vancouver Island coal, which we heard that even though he built this castle, I think he ended up dying before he even saw it built, so he didn't even get to live in it. But this castle was massive. I mean, there were like 5 floors in this castle, just different rooms for different people. But for me, the coolest part about it was the outside. As soon as you approach this thing, it is vast, and you just don't see architecture like this really in America. Maybe you might see it in the States, but for sure in Hawaii, you do not see architecture like that. And me coming with an engineering background, this type of architecture just really amazes me to see how this kind of stuff was built, especially back in the 1800s. So it says here, Robert died in 1889, and 17 months before the completed construction of this castle, he unfortunately passed away. And so his sons ended up finishing the building of this castle to enjoy it and to remember who he was. As you walk around, it's just completely incredible. And unfortunately, after checking out this castle, we were running out of time. We had to get back to the boat, and we couldn't even catch the bus that we paid for to bring us back to the boat. Instead, we just caught a taxi so that we can get there right away, and we ended up getting there with 1 hour to spare, which was really nice because nobody wants to miss a cruise ship, because then you're gonna have to catch a plane and all of these things. It's just a complicated process. But if I had to do this all over again, I would definitely, number 1, catch a taxi everywhere we go, and number 2, don't do a cruise. Just go to Victoria for a couple days, explore the city, get to really understand the culture and be able to walk around to different sites, visit different areas, explore the water, explore the mountains, and just enjoy your time there before having to leave in a couple days. That's it, folks. Just a quick video today. Hope you guys liked it. Please hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps the YouTube algorithm. And I appreciate you guys. See you on the next video. Shoots!